Hi, everybody. I thought we just... You can't hear me? How's that? Is that better? Get closer? Okay. Better? All right. It's hard for me to hold still, as you may have noticed, so I go in and out a little bit. Just wave. So these are just birches in the wind and some bird song. I thought we could just rest with that for a couple minutes. The theme tonight is sort of just spring beauty and God in all creation. Good evening to everybody. What a day to have a prayer service about the beauty of creation. It was a stunning day, finally spring. I'm just going to read these few little quotes at the top. From Gerard Manley Hopkins, "The world is charged with the grandeur of God." Nature is God's living, visible garment. And from Julian of Norwich, "The fullness of joy is to behold God in everything." So I have a reading from Elizabeth Johnson, but I thought just a tiny bit of context before I read it. She has this beautiful talk she gave where she talks about whether God's charity is broad enough for bears. And her question comes from a story about the American explorer and one of the first naturalists, John Muir. So it turns out that one day Muir came across a dead bear, just newly dead, still bleeding, in the middle of the woods in Yosemite National Park. That night in his journal, he wrote a biting criticism against religious folks he knew who made no room in heaven for such noble creatures. Not content with taking all of earth, they also claim the celestial country as the only ones who possess the kinds of souls for which that imponderable empire was planned. And then later, do humans think they're the only ones with souls? To the contrary, he wrote, God's charity is broad enough for bears. And I believe that was in the early 1900s. So that sounds like Laudato Si to me, a little bit. And I'm just going to read this kind of a little quote from Elizabeth Johnson's response. And it also echoes Laudato Si. Simply put, ecological conversion means falling in love with the earth as an inherently valuable, living community in which we participate, and bending every effort to be creatively faithful to its well-being, in tune with God, who loves it unconditionally. Being converted to an ecological vocation entails more than an aesthetic or moral mandate. It is a call to deeper relationship with God, the creator of heaven and earth. An invitation that transforms us toward great-heartedness in resonance with the love who made and empowers it all. And she says further, a flourishing humanity on a thriving earth in an evolving universe, altogether filled with the glory of God. Such is the global vision we are called to. So I invite you now to the quiet to consider who are the neighbors in God's creation that you're called to love. What do the trees, plants, insects, birds, animals around you need? What might they have to share? And how might you care for them? And let them care for you. We moved to a new Airbnb last weekend, and this morning I was walking my dog, so up by the water, and there were 2 turkey buzzards pulling at something nasty in the road, and I thought, can I extend my charity? Can I love those? A little bit tricky. So this next piece is inspired by the St. Francis Canticle of Creation. And as I read it, I would invite you to just let the phrases, the words, anything that strikes you or resonates with you, just pause there. Sometimes memories come up of a place that was particularly resonant for us. Maybe we felt God's presence, or we felt that it was, a place that really, a heart place. Some place of loss. There's a certain woods near me that, near where I grew up, that's gone now. It's a Holiday Inn or something. So just let all that come up from a place of sort of recognizing your connection to these pieces. In the beginning, Lord my God, you alone existed, eternally one, yet pregnant in the fullness of unity. Full to overflowing, you, creator of all life, exploded outward in a million bits and pieces. Your word became flesh, whirling in shining stars, shimmering suns, and in Genesis, glimmering galaxies. You, my God, spoke, and your words became flesh, in sun and moon, earth and seas, mountains and gentle hills, rolling rivers and silent streams. You, my God, spoke, and your words became flesh. In winged bird, in deer and elephant, in grazing cow, racing horse, and fish of the deep. Your words, so unique and so varied, filled the earth also with rabbit, squirrel, and ant. And all your words were beautiful, and all were good. From each of these holy words arose a prayer of praise and adoration to you, their creator and wondrous womb. Praise you, rang out the redwood. Blessed be you, chimed in the cedar. Holy are you, prayed the prairie grasses. From all four corners of this earth rose up a chorus of perpetual adoration. O sacred Spirit, O divine breath of life, unseal my ears that they may ever listen to your continuous canticle of creation. Open my heart and my whole self to sing in harmony with all its many voices. Teach me to commune with your first word made flesh, your creation, that I may be able to unravel the wondrous words of your second word made flesh, Jesus, through whom, with whom, and in whom I may see myself as another word of yours made flesh, to your glory and honor. We cannot protect things we don't love. We cannot love what we don't know, and we cannot know what we do not see or hear or sense. And that always reminds me of that Pedro Arrupe prayer, which ends with fall in love, stay in love, and it will decide everything. So I invite you now, we'll go back into the silence, to listen with the ears of your heart, and let these words bring to mind places or beings that you have loved or have felt love. And wondering what creation has to say to you or for you as it sings God praises in words in ways you cannot, with sighs too deep for words. I'd like to invite Barb Galino up to read our last prayer and invite us into our last silence. Thank
The beauty of nature. O God, we thank you for this earth, our home, for the wide sky and the blessed sun, for the salt sea and the running water, for the everlasting hills and the never-resting winds, for trees and the common grass underfoot. We thank you for our senses, by which we hear the song of birds and see the splendor of the summer fields and taste of the autumn fruits, and rejoice in the feel of the snow and smell the breath of the spring. Grant us a heart wide open to all this beauty, and save our souls from being so blind that we pass unseeing when even the common thorn bush is ablaze with your glory. O God, our Creator, who lives and reigns forever and ever. Now, in this last time of silence, we can ask ourselves, where do you experience the presence of God in creation? What was it about that place that conveyed a sense of wonder, awe, majesty, simplicity, complexity, or just being at home in the world?
Well, amen. So we just have one small thing. Next month, June, we're having the associate pastor for outreach, who does a lot of social justice things for Third Presbyterian Church, is going to host Prayer for Our Time. So come ahead. And then we'll take a break until September. So, all right, let me... Have a good night. Enjoy the beauty. Still looks sunny.